In one word, what does Dani Peress mean to you?
Determined.
Dani was my daughter, but superhero is the one word that I would use to describe her from the time she was diagnosed with cancer through her death. She battled a terrible disease just as you would expect a superhero to do. Instead of surrendering to her illness, she did her best to continue working to help others in need. What else could we expect from Dani, who proclaimed at the age of 10 that she would become a physician so she could contribute to the world? And indeed, she became a physician, and in her brief time on this earth, she helped so many.
How does Dani's legacy impact doctors pursuing a career in MFM?
Dani's passion for research was insatiable. Even as she was dying, she refused to stop working on her research because the idea that it might go unfinished was too much for her to handle.
Dani's love of medicine and the field of maternal-fetal medicine was evident to anyone that met her. Even after her devastating diagnosis of stage 4 lung cancer in August of 2016, when she was a first-year MFM fellow at Penn, she was determined to continue her dream of becoming a maternal-fetal medicine physician. She used her remaining time fighting to fulfill that dream, continuing to work on the labor floor, doing deliveries with her love of forceps, and continuing research. Dani's dedication to clinical medicine was rivaled by her passion and enthusiasm for research.
And Dani was also really thorough, and she always took into account the entire patient, not just their medical issues that they might be in the hospital for. But when you got signed out from Dani, you knew about that patient's whole story, and you knew them as a whole person, which in our interpartum patients is so important. And she always took care of everybody as a whole person, and I was always impressed by that. I think about that a lot.
It is not surprising that even during her darkest and sickest days, Dani was thinking about how she could make a difference in the field of maternal-fetal medicine. Through her generosity, she hopes to give other MFM fellows the opportunity to conduct research that otherwise would not have been possible without funding.
Dani was a true warrior. She knew that she had a dire diagnosis, but she decided that she was going to make the most of her limited time. She did not stop working until she was so sick that she couldn't continue. I remember being in the car with her a few weeks before she passed, and she said she wanted her research to continue. She was so committed to maternal-fetal medicine that it was what she thought about when others would be thinking about their own mortality. Dani would be grateful that her friends and colleagues are continuing her life's work. Research was always so important to her.
Knowing that this scholarship will allow young researchers to continue to have an impact on women and babies would mean everything to her and bring her a lot of peace.